From the rolling fields in the south to the boreal forests in the north, Saskatchewan's food bounty overflows. As an author and journalist, I've spent the last decade tasting the best the province has to offer and telling stories to help us reconnect with our food. I'll take you on a field-to-plate journey to discover our finest ingredients and the people behind it all. Because this isn't just my story, it's Saskatchewan's. Ota Pamehoan means nourishment in Cree. For the Indigenous people that live here, the land has always been a source of nourishment. Through foraging and hunting, traditional foods are crucial in ensuring health and play a pivotal role in ceremonies.
When I go foraging, we always put tobacco down. We always pray to Creator. These are the things that were taught to me, not as a child, but as an adult. Everything that's going to nourish you or be part of you or take care of you, you always have to give thanks for that. Over the years, I've gained that knowledge, not from books, not from TV, like just going on the land with my elders and my family. My uncle spoke to me one time about our blood memory, and there's memories in our DNA. When he spoke to me about that, I was floored because I never heard anybody talk about things like that before, but I knew somewhere in me that knowledge is there, and it makes sense. When you eat something, it becomes part of your body. That knowledge that I have and that I gained, I try to share that with others. That's so important for me to do.
The Opimihaw Valley, located just outside Saskatoon, has been a gathering place for Indigenous people for thousands of years. I grew up along this valley and wanted to learn more about the treasures the land holds.
Well, for me, I've been berry picking since I've been a kid. Mom's taking me out everywhere. We spend all summer foraging for whatever we can. To me, it's a connection to the land, of course, and to my culture and to the history. We know that that's our special time. Gabby has been foraging with me since she's been about 3. Being a single mom is tough at times, so she would always come with me. I don't want to put Gabby in a daycare center while I'm having fun. That doesn't happen. She comes with me everywhere. That's important. Food security happens at home. It happens with children at a very young age. I knew what food security was when I had to go out and weed every single row of our 2 gardens and make a salad after. So that, to me, there's nothing that tastes better than a fresh carrot out of the ground. And I want Gabby to know what that is as well.
I grew up very close to this valley, the Opimihaw Valley that flows, this creek flows into Saskatchewan, and it starts on my mom and stepdad's land, but I don't know what's in my backyard. I know about Saskatoon berries, but I would love it if you can teach me more and show me how we forage respectfully and everything else.
So the elders always teach us to offer tobacco whenever we harvest anything, and that's to give thanks to Creator for the bountiful that we pick. And today I bought some tobacco, so right hand. Okay. So always in the right hand. We give thanks to Creator, so we hold it up and say, "Thank you, Creator.
Thank you, Creator.
Thank you, God.
Thank you, God.
Thank you,
For
God.
the Saskatoons and for the medicine and for the plants.
Thank you for everything.
Thank you, Creator."
Thank you, Creator.
So now we put the tobacco by the plant. So ever since I was a kid, even younger than Gabby, we would go and pick, and pails and pails. I'm not talking about a little saunter down the road. We're talking days and days of picking berries. It's our food security. We fill up our freezers in the summer with all of our berries that we love. Ready? Taste one.
That's actually delicious.
It is delicious. Do you ever eat more than you pick?
Yeah, kind of.
Picking them is so peaceful, And it's a way to just connect and be still. You lose yourself.
And I eat them.
And you eat them.
Yes.
And you get skeeter bites.
And how beautiful that you can share with your daughter what you shared with your mom and your grandma and other family members.
Yeah, it's a whole process. Heart disease, cardiovascular disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, all these things are killing the First Nations people because they're not getting the proper nutrition that they need. The price of a milk here in Saskatchewan area is about $4 for a 4-liter. In the north, it's about $25 for a non-subsidized community. People who are already living on reserve, who do not have access to a car, who can go to Prince Albert to go get groceries, they're already marginalized. They're already poor. And so you're charging 3 or 4 times extra for the food that they need. What are you doing to the people? You're starving them. That's scary. That's really scary. And it made me realize, we're not doing enough for the First Nation communities up north. It's important to start to think in ways that are beneficial for a community to sustain themselves. And I hope that, again, that First Nations and all people will start to realize the importance of the food. The food is so important.
Along with ensuring food security for her family, gathering and eating traditional foods like Saskatoon berries is how Diana connects to the wisdom passed down from her ancestors.
I just remember growing up playing along the really big exposed roots of Besnard Lake and the rocks and looking up at the eagles kind of soaring over us as we played. Just kind of being a free-range kid in the bush, fishing and going to our friends' trap line, and smelling hides being cured and hearing traditional knowledge passed on right around the table as we gathered for food and tea. My foster brother Andrew, who's now 37, my little brother, he's blind and he has cerebral palsy. So a huge part of the way I interact with food and people came from hanging out with him as a kid. When you're blind, especially a blind little toddler, if you put a piece of lettuce in your mouth, it's really not that appealing. I remember trying to get him to eat peas once and saying, okay, they're just little circles. They kind of feel like plastic, but when you chew them, they'll pop in your mouth. So I think that initial draw to food as more of a creative outlet, I have to thank my sweet little brother Andrew for that.
I knew Diana and Jenny were both involved in Saskatchewan's Indigenous culinary scene, and through writing my book, discovered the two had never met. We decided it was time to gather together in the valley and celebrate traditional food. Hello, Jenny.
Hi.
Good, how are you?
Awesome. Want you to meet Diana Bird. And
Hi,
this is
Diana.
Jenny.
Hi, Jenny.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Finally.
Yes.
So excited to cook with you.
Yes.
I have a little gift for you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. What do you have?
These are fiddleheads.
Yay!
Can't buy those in the store.
No, you cannot.
Wow. Come into the kitchen.
Alrighty.
So I want to learn about fiddleheads from you ladies. I know a little about them. I know they're poisonous if you don't cook them right. But I don't know a lot else about them. Where you find them in Saskatchewan, how you cook with them. Teach me, share the knowledge, please.
Diana.
All right, well, we picked these up north about 3 hours from here. And we pick them every spring around end of May. They're good for about a good week. And then that's it, they turn to ferns.
So do you snap it off or do you cut it with a knife?
I snap it off. Okay. Yeah. When you are down on the ground with something as special as fiddlehead, you want to have more connection to it.
Beautiful.
The Canada Food Guide recommends to blanch them for 5 minutes because they can be carcinogenic. And so we make sure that they're safe to eat. These won't harm you. They've been blanched.
They're good to go.
Oh, yes.
All
I
right.
love the color.
It's like asparagus and pea.
I just sit down with that whole bowl.
Right?
Should we fry them up?
Sure.
Yeah, let's add some butter to them. That can only help, right?
Do you want me to chop some garlic for you?
I would love that.
Okay.
What's your favorite way to serve them or to cook with them?
For me, I like them plain with just a little bit of butter and garlic, salt and pepper. I add them to pretty much just about anything.
Look at that!
I feel like I'm still that kid in the kitchen, playing and exploring and using the ingredients that I'm able to forage from a Pemahaw Creek, from all our neighbors in this area. We're in a beautiful kind of a food circle. From Canadian Shield to Prairie Field, we have all these ingredients to work with. And it's been a gathering spot for people for over 6,000 years. Some of the archaeological digs predate the pyramids. 2 buffalo jumps, a medicine wheel. We have so much just on the land to offer. You just get this sense of being part of a place that's given healing and peace to so many generations of people. I remember one time I was out harvesting chokecherries and I almost felt like I could hear women, echoes of women from years gone by on the bison processing site, kind of laughing at me and with me. I just think it's so special that I can be out picking chokecherries in likely the very spot that women for thousands of years were gathering the same berry. It's 100% an experience that links us directly to the past. This is what people ate. We know they ate it because we see it on there were stones in the valley that were used for grinding roots and grinding berries, and they can go and say, yeah, that was chokecherry, that was Saskatoon berry. There's a culinary history on the very rocks at Wanuskewin.
And did you eat these when you were growing up?
I absolutely did not. So I probably saw them growing up. I just didn't know that I could eat them. Otherwise, I would have been eating them raw.
When you pick fiddleheads from the ground, they're about this big, and they have this brown husk on them that needs to be dried off, wiped off, washed off, or whatever.
Oh, wow.
So it is a process.
It's like they got greener.
Yep.
They are, yeah, they're brightening
Yeah,
up.
so I only saute them until they do get that bright green. Anything else from now it'll be brown. So
That's gorgeous.
so there you go, and there's your fiddlehead, and they're ready to eat.
So pretty.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Well, thank you, ladies. Let the feast preparations begin.
Alrighty.
The highlight of my cooking life happened when the first herd of bison was reintroduced to the park. And just to look down at my feet and see the moccasins that my dad had given to me, and to look around the room and see faces of people that have been working on this project for 40 years, and the fact that I and my staff got to prepare the food, the stew, the bannock, the berries for that for that day was, I don't think the term executive chef encompasses the feeling that that created in me. It's just an honor to be on this sacred, beautiful land, gathering the ingredients and feeding people. It's just an absolute dream come true to be here. And I remember that day just thinking, I'm a little girl from La Ronge and I'm at this World Heritage Site. How did this happen? And I think it's just creating that experience and getting people excited about food has been in me all along.
It was a powerful meeting for the two women with their combined passions as they taught me about harvesting and cooking fiddleheads.
The key piece of information regarding food that I've learned from the elders is don't take more than you need. That's whether you're at table, whether you're harvesting. Be very, very respectful with the ingredients.
These foods are healthy, they're nutritious, and when you catch a fish or pick a fiddlehead, that's your food. Be proud of that.
After learning about some of the traditional foods, we invited Elder Judy Pelly and singer Teedley Linklater to share wisdom from their experiences and a meal in the Opimihaw Valley.
I'd just like to thank everyone for inviting me to be on this land and sharing the nice food, and just really grateful to be here.
When somebody approached me to be a part of this, I didn't refuse, because I think that was my journey to be here for whoever needs me, whether, for whatever reason. I just really want to see how grateful I am for having met you. And I'm looking forward to our meal, our traditional meal, and these wonderful ladies.
Using the forage, Saskatoon berries, fiddleheads, and other ingredients, Jenny and Diana prepare the dishes for our shared dinner.
Today I made you a fiddlehead spanakopita. It's in phyllo dough, and there's a little bit of cottage cheese in there, The second one is a moose meat samosa. It's not spicy, but it's so yummy.
And then when Diana told me what she was making, I was drooling, of course, and thinking, okay, what am I going to do
Foaming
here?
at the mouth.
Foaming at the mouth. So this is a Saskatoon berry chutney, and then your little sticks there are pickled beet stems, and I used wild juniper in it. So you'll taste a little bit of that.
Enjoy, ladies.
Yay, what do I tack first?
What to try first? Maybe a beet?
Oh, this is so delicious.
See, if Mother Earth had a taste, that's how she'd be, like beets.
Earthy, yeah, I think so.
Earthy and Judy, moose meat for you, is that something you grew up eating, or is it something you?
It was a staple.
Yeah, yeah.
But we grew up with all wild meat. If it was rabbits and ducks. And
Yeah, a lot of what Judy grew up on is what I grew up on as well. When the hunters went out in the fall, all of us women would always help. Our payment was taking home some moose meat, right? So the family would provide for 60, 70, 80 families. So it's important for us. It's a way of life. And
You know where it came from.
yes,
everything was used in the animal, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, we've talked about that. What you're doing at Saskatchewan and introducing people to some of these foods that they may never have tried before, and
Yeah.
foraging some of the things from the land, and you're this conduit to coming back home to traditional foods, really.
Alrighty, so we're in for more treats.
More treats.
More yum.
What do we have? What did you make?
the trout comes from up north. We stuff that with some fresh herbs that I have from the garden. I brought some fiddleheads for everybody to try. It's just fried up with a little bit of butter and garlic.
And then the little soup or puree is nettle, right from underneath the buffalo jump out at Wanuskewin. I used a bison dry meat, so I rehydrated it and then used the liquid as the broth. And just a little bit of garlic and fresh sage that Diana brought from her garden. And then the little swirly is choke cherries that I picked out at Wanuskewin yesterday. And I just cooked them down with a little bit of maple syrup from a First Nation in Quebec.
So this is fabulous, ladies. And a question that I had for the two of you, there's this resurgence into modern Indigenous cuisine. Do you see that as something valuable, as a way to help people experience these foods, or would you prefer it stayed more traditional?
Traditional food, served traditionally, made traditionally, that's important. That's part of our ceremonies. That's how it's done, right? I think that it's also important for the younger generation who don't like the traditional food, for them to experience traditional foods in a non-contemporary setting like this, right?
Food, of course, is a time of coming together and celebrating. All celebrations, there's food. It's very important that there is a movement, especially with reconciliation happening across the country. We need to build each other up. We need to fight against racism, because systemic racism is a really, really huge problem in our society right now. And I think once we start to work together as one people without looking at race, we can start to build a better country together, to make it a better tomorrow for our children, and to also include those people that don't have a voice. There's a whole population that people forget. They don't hear them, they don't see them, they don't hear the pain, and we need to bring culture and language, and with that there's always food. You know, one of the many teachings is always to be in a good mood. You never cook if you're angry, because it's your spirit, it goes into the food and all the people that eat it.
Food is so integral to health and healing, isn't it? Yeah. Well, thank you very much. This was absolutely fabulous.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Foods like Saskatoon berries, fiddleheads, nettle, moose, and bison meat have always been essential for Indigenous people here. When we talk about reconciliation and food sovereignty, there is a lot of work to be done, but food is a way we can connect and ultimately better understand one another.
sing a Woman's Honor Song for everybody. I really enjoyed my evening with everybody today. It's kind of a big treat, and I'm kind of an introvert, so it's really a bigger treat to have everybody. I just like to say this song was given to my mom by the spirits. She was having a hard time, and she kept hearing this song over and over in her head till finally she had the courage enough to sing it for everybody. It's in Cree Nehiyawit language, and it's like Pasikuaskwewak. It means women rise, get up, get your voice. So the song is for all the women, my daughters and our ancestors and our generations to come. So that's a song I chose to sing to everybody. Miigwech.